He is India's #1 business writer. He is a best-selling author of Corporate Chanakya and 15 other books on Chanakya. He is a well-known management expert, trainer, coach, consultant, and mentor to many business houses in India. He is somebody who has really helped me in my journey of writing my book by giving me a clear-cut blueprint on how a new author should write, think, and finally execute the plan of writing the book. Thank you so much for your time, sir. We're so blessed to be talking to you today. I really want to understand your perspective on life and business, keeping Chanakya in mind, because I've gone through your research. You have studied Chanakya like nobody did, So what made you actually go deep dive into Chanakya? What made you study Chanakya?
So first of all, thanks for making me part of this particular program. It's an honor to discuss some business ideas, of course, related to Chanakya. And of course, as you rightly pointed out, about all the books that I have written, the workshops that I do. So there are multiple things that I do. Coming back, how did the Chanakya whole journey happen in my life? I became an entrepreneur around 20 years ago when this was not the wave. Today, everybody is talking about entrepreneurship, start of a business. But I'm talking about almost 20 years ago when everybody only wanted a job. But this happened because of two reasons. Number one is I've been connected with a spiritual organization called Chinmaya Mission since my childhood. So I've been reading Indian scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, the Ramayana, Mahabharata. And when I started my business, I said, let us look at our business from an Indian perspective, because I was looking at India, the Indian way, and say, who is India's strategic management guru? Because, when I did my management studies, I used to learn a lot about Western management. Nothing wrong in that. You can learn from everyone. But for our culture, the way we run a business has to be more Indian in nature, because we're dealing with India, we're dealing with Indian people. So doing my research, I just came upon this book called Kautilya Arthashastra. And I thought, this is Chanakya's book. So when I read it for the first time, I did not understand anything, let me tell you. But somewhere it hit to me that, if Chanakya is guiding somebody to run a whole kingdom, the same principles can be applied how to run a business.
True.
So that's my journey that started, and last 20 years I've been reading, teaching, writing books on Chanakya, and it's an amazing journey over the last 20 years.
Great. When you hear this word Chanakya, there are a lot of myths around this word. Personally, initially before meeting you, I used to think that Chanakya is nothing but a term used for a cunning politician.
True.
So do you face this myth around Chanakya?
Every second person, I would say every person, every second person talks about this. Chanakya is a shrewd guy, he's a cunning guy, he's a manipulator. Then occasionally attend my workshop. And after that, the image changes.
That's true. So what are the traits that a business person, an entrepreneur should have, keeping Chanakya in mind? What are the good traits?
So the first thing is that an entrepreneur is first a leader. So you can't say an entrepreneur is just a businessman, because business may be his field of application, but at the end of it, he or she has to take full responsibility. So to run the whole business as if the buck stops with you. You can't blame the government, you can't blame your employees, you can't blame the market. So I think the first step of entrepreneurship as a trait is that he or she has to think like, I'm wholly responsible. And I've seen a lot of people who believe that, there's a problem in the market, there's a slowdown, there's a global problem, there's a demonetization problem, there is GST problem. Then I said, listen, stop now. Whatever is there, it's there. Now you start taking responsibility. So I think the first quality of a good person as an entrepreneur is to have developed leadership qualities. The second is to respect teamwork. So it will start as a one-man show, one-man army, but in the long term, you have to build a team.
Right.
The third and the most important thing is to understand luck factor. Okay, now many people say luck. But when I say luck, I don't mean just sitting there and doing nothing. So you need to understand, as you grow higher and higher, there may be 20 people in the same business, but only 2 or 3 become successful.
Correct.
So what are the reasons? So it's luck in one way, but I would call it basically you need to understand whether you're at the right place at the right time. So if somebody has done extremely well in one place, you would understand that I've been doing business in the right place at the right time. For example, when I started writing books, I'm not the only person who has written books on Chanakya.
Okay.
So there are many people before me and many people after me also, but then I found my right time, right place and the right subject, and then everything falls into place. So as an entrepreneur, it's all about, let's do it. It's all about the passion, the will. But as you mature, you can't do it alone.
Right.
So you require a team. But later on, you realize that, you have to keep shifting your business to find your core.
Right.
Once you find it, then success has to come behind you.
That's a great perspective. You spoke about entrepreneurship, your journey 2 decades ago. Today, as you see, getting into business is flamboyance. People really like the glamour part of it.
Yeah.
So what's your message for all those startups, those young entrepreneurs, those people really popping up with new ideas every day? What's your message, keeping again Chanakya in mind?
So we are looking at a generation and a scenario where everybody wants to do something or other.
Correct.
Even those people are working, they back of the mind they want to become some entrepreneur.
Right.
People are just coming out of colleges, they want to become entrepreneurs, kuch karna hai.
Correct.
And even people are retired, they are becoming entrepreneurs. So, now I'm retired, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So let me become a consultant and this and all. So I see 3 generations of people simultaneously becoming entrepreneurs. The first is the guys who are in the colleges already, thinking about, some startup business. The second is who are working. So they're not very happy for whatever reason.
Right.
And the third is basically the one who are retired. Now they're having experience. What can I do? Can I become a motivational speaker or a consultant or something like that? So my advice is, first of all, there is a huge wave of entrepreneurship, but don't become a person with a herd mentality.
Yeah.
So if he is doing, I have to do it. I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying that sit down with yourself and say, which is the field in which I want to do my business.
True.
Just because my friend is doing, I need not be on that particular field.
Correct.
So nothing wrong in entrepreneurship. At the same time, entrepreneurship, as you rightly said, sir, is not just about the glamour part of it. So it's like cricket. Everybody cannot become Sachin Tendulkar.
Correct.
But Sachin Tendulkar can be an ideal to begin with.
Right.
But when you say that I also want to become a Sachin Tendulkar, you're actually comparing the apples to oranges.
Yeah.
So many people think that, when you become an entrepreneur, you will be there on the magazine cover, you will be there everywhere, people will interview. Yeah, that's a byproduct. You need to do your business well first. So entrepreneurship, according to me, is a journey of 3-3-3.
Okay.
So first 3 years is actually committing to your business.
Okay.
Don't leave the business in spite of the ups and downs. It's a learning curve.
Right.
Next 3 is 30 years, you have to build the business.
Okay.
And last 3 years, you have to exit the business. A lot of people talk about startups. But not many people know that one day your career will end.
Right.
Company should not shut down.
Right.
But you should have a leader. So last part of your journey, when you're around or before you reach 60, you need to actually build up the second generation around you. So I think more than glamour for me, entrepreneurship is a responsibility of building a business, scaling it up, and also knowing how to exit positively.
This reminds me, one great man said that you should start the business keeping the exit in mind.
Yes.
I think you have a great perspective on that.
Yes.
Because people start the business, they somehow they dive into it and they struggle, but they don't have the exit plan.
Yes.
So this 3-3-3 is really a great perspective on actually looking business the Chanakya way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you worked with a lot of corporate houses.
Yes.
Tell us, what are the mistakes that one should avoid while they are building a corporate?
So everybody, in spite of their own theoretical background, will do some mistakes, but that's okay. When I work with corporates, especially the established, when I work with multinationals who have been there for 3-4 generations, I've been with startups. So the way I look at the mistakes, the first major mistake people do is that they think business is about an idea. Business is never about an idea. Business is about the idea being refined with the help of a mentor. So I always ask the first question that if you have an idea, who is your mentor?
Who is your mentor?
Let me give again an example of Sachin Tendulkar. He may be very talented and maybe he's a born cricketer, but he still requires a coach like Ramakant Achrekar.
Yeah.
So I believe that one of the common mistakes people do is that start a business with a lot of josh but no direction.
Right.
Even Chanakya was a Rajguru. So Chandragupta Maurya may be a great king, but he requires a guru to tell him what to do and what not to do. So especially when I go to colleges, I say don't do the mistake of starting a business with an idea. Have an idea, but have a mentor along with you.
Right.
Because the mistakes that you will make in 5 years, probably the mentor will tell you to avoid those mistakes. So the first mistake is not to have a mentor. The second mistake is that people think it's going to be overnight success. Abhi.
Instant gratification.
Exactly, and what you rightly pointed out, it's the fame part of
Yeah.
it. Let me be on social media, let me be all around, let me go and tell my story. Listen, first build a business, your story will be told by others. So the mistake is that everything takes its own time, and nobody successfully becomes a great businessman overnight. But I remember there was a joke about a very successful businessman who was getting interviewed, and the journalist asked him, that you became a successful businessman overnight.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, I became successful overnight, but the night was too long. So it doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
So I believe that the mistake number 2 is to expect the business will become big
Right.
overnight. So imagine, I've been in business for the last 20 years. Not many people know about it. I've been into writing books for the last 10 years, but it's hard work every day. The third and the most common mistake is people don't give credit to others.
Yeah.
So when we become successful, it's like I, me, myself. So you have attended my workshop.
Right.
I always say that when you write a book, okay, how many people are involved in making it a bestseller?
Correct.
Okay, the author, the publisher, that's minimum 2,000 people. Even the person who is actually going to sell the book on the shop floor, the truck wala who takes it carefully, the logistics, the accounts department. So we don't realize businessman also is one small part of the whole ecosystem. So if you're running a business, there is an accountant who is filing your taxes properly, but nobody gives him a credit. He or she is not even known. If you're looking at the shooting, there's a team of 5 people around here, but give me the stars.
Right.
But they're also equally important to get the voice modulation right. The editing is very important. So I think one of the biggest common mistakes people do is to say that I am a successful businessman. So listen, we are a successful businessman.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's a very conscious thing businessmen should do. You start using the word called we instead of I.
Yeah.
Because when you look at we, then there is a team around you. There are people who may not get the credit. In fact, when I watch movies, it's something very strange, the whole theater is over and then I wait. And if my wife is like, Papa, chalo, movie khatam ho gaya, lekin abhi movie ke piche wale ke log hai, unka naam aayega. So the credits that's given, the spot boy also is equally important. The makeup artist is important. So believe me, I have actually wait for the next 10 minutes. The whole theater is empty. And I look at this, okay, apart from this actor and the director, there are 10,000 people behind it. The person who's doing probably the VFX is equally important. The sound engineer is equally important, but nobody looks at them.
Right.
So I think the third mistake that I was talking about is take the full credit and not give the credit to others. So if you're a successful businessman, please develop humility and give the credit to your team.
Yeah.
They are the people who make you successful.
Tell us more about the family. What role do you think the family plays in your success when it comes to business?
So I think family is the most important criteria of success for becoming successful and after becoming successful. So I'll tell you, in India specifically, we are a very family-oriented culture.
Right.
And I don't think we earn for ourselves, we earn for our families.
Right.
So I think maybe across the globe, I don't know much, but as an Indian, I think it starts with our family, it ends with our family. And success is a byproduct. So let me tell you, if you are an entrepreneur, it's very important to involve your family members and not to involve your family members. You should know where to draw the line.
Right.
For example, my wife is also part of my business group. And at every particular point, I know what she should know and probably what she should not know. So let me give an example. I make sure that I discuss with her my struggles, some of the challenges. And I'm a person who is almost like 20 days in a month traveling continuously.
Right.
If I don't get her involved, she'll feel lost.
Right.
And that's something I get involved. But at the same time, I know I should not tell her too much of the problem. She'll get frightened.
Right.
Because business is about cash flows. There are times when it's doing very well, sometimes it's doing very well. So, I make her comfortable by telling that, listen, don't worry, we'll have our finances, but there'll be ups and downs. So that's the point where you involve her in second, you don't want to go into details. But now my family is too much into business. My wife handles one of my divisions.
Okay.
Now I get into the details of saying that let's build the business together. Now this is my case. I would say that for anybody who is into business, even the family members are not into business, tell them that business is not going to be easy. It's all about the glamour part of it. When you have good profits, you will go and buy a lot of things. You should also tell them that listen, this may not be forever. Otherwise, then expectations get built. इस बार फॉरेन टूर गया तो अगले बार भी करना ही चाहिए. So we करेंगे, but एक साल अगर नहीं हुआ 5 साल में, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Now coming back to the other side of it, family is also your strength. Okay, because I have seen a lot of successful businessmen with broken families. What's the point? I mean, if you can't just sit with your daughter or your children or your parents for that matter, or your spouse, then just be normal. So I have this particular formula in my life. When I'm running a business, I'm a good businessman, looking at cash flows, all the marketing part of it. But once I go home, I just switch off myself. Then, I'm not a businessman anymore. I'm just a father, and a father who's going to listen, maybe just teach your children, spend time with them, go and watch a movie. So I think if you want to be successful, you have to be very, very clear that family also has to be happy and successful along with you. So I think it's a very important part of your success in life. Otherwise, successful businessmen, broken families, not a good idea.
That's not a good idea. When I meet entrepreneurs, business owners, my clients, I always emphasize on that the spirituality plays a major role in your life.
Yes.
And the moment you start discussions on spiritual part of your business, they don't like it. I can see you are very much inclined and very much devoted towards that.
Yeah.
So, what is the right reason? I mean, what makes you strengthen the fact that an entrepreneur or business person should also have an angle which is spiritual?
See, as you know, you're a businessman yourself. There are a lot of ups and downs, and in business, actually, there are many, many unknowns and only a few knowns.
Right.
You may have a plan. But the reality is, when you hit on the road, you realize it's not true.
True.
And spirituality gives you a strength to actually tackle the unknown. Because, I believe that my life is fully devoted to my God and Guru and my scriptures.
Right.
So I'm not a businessman for the sake of being a businessman, only to make money. In fact, 9 out of 10 things that I do, I don't even get money. But that's okay, but that one thing covers it up.
Right.
So the way I look at it, for me, it's a spiritual journey. I don't know how many of you know this, that particularly I never wanted to be a businessman. But my guru, Swami Tejumanerji, he told me, why don't you think about doing a business? 20 years ago, I don't come from a business family, no business idea, nothing. But then I said, okay, if it is going to be a business, then let me have the spiritual principles. So in fact, my spiritual gurus even inaugurated this office. Whenever I have a problem, I go and ask mentorship from them. And believe me, when I look back, I'm saying that I'm too successful. But if there are people who believe that spirituality is not the foundation of business, I think they don't know what is reality.
And you should know things that will help you tackle the unknown. I think that's the biggest takeaway. That is a good covering that you have for your business.
Absolutely, because if you don't have spirituality base, when a problem comes, you'll go for the spirit to solve your business problem. So I don't require that, because for me, I have got the inner strength. I'm saying that there is God, there is Guru, and there are a lot of mentors who are actually guiding me. So I never feel lonely. I meditate every day, I do my prayers every day. I look at saying that I've been given a role of a small leadership in my own space.
Right.
But the success, the moment it comes to me, I'm saying, listen, it's not you, it's because of God's grace.
Correct.
Otherwise, what will happen? Again, you get in that ego. And the moment the ego calms, believe it's the most dangerous thing for a businessman. So having a spiritual base actually helps you to grow further and to remain grounded.
That's good. So, what you do the entire day, I really want to understand the daily routine of somebody who writes, who talks, who goes and trains people. What's your daily routine?
So if you look at my daily routine, the first part of the day is very personal. So when I get up, I do my exercises, yoga, I do my prayers, meditation, and a lot of reading. So that part is very personal where, it's I, me, myself. But it's almost like a battery getting charged. The second part of a day starts with spending some time with the family and all those things. But generally, the first half of the day, you don't get much time because you're getting ready to go to office.
Right.
After that, every single day is different. So it's not like you have to come to office alone. So I do multiple things. I got, I would say, 3 offices.
Right.
This one, the university, and a small setup that I have in my house.
In library. So you have 10,000 books in your house? That's what I remember.
It's now becoming 7,000 from 5,000.
Okay.
But 10,000 to ho jayega. So the way I look at it is saying that the morning is I, me, myself. So almost like a very spiritual part of me. Afterwards, I plan my day in detail. So sometimes I have to go to my client's place in the mornings, otherwise I'll come to the office or I have to write some emails, some phone calls. So typically my day would start by around 8:30. I'd read the newspapers and all, but 8:30 to almost like 8:30, 12 hours I work. So it involves 3-4 things. Number one is about writing books. So I try and write. I read a lot. At least 3 hours a day I read a lot. Every day I read. Then it's about meeting the clients, then doing administrative work, going to university, maybe giving lectures. So, 7 days a week, the routine is very different. But then how do you keep yourself grounded?
Yeah.
So what is very important is that on a regular basis, I look at what are the priorities. So once I decide that I'll write a book, okay, then I get into a mission mode. I'm saying that kitne din mein likhna hai? Okay, you have to write it in 1 month. Then I get into saying that 1 month, then I have my calculation, that 3 hours a day. And once I get into it, then tuck. And I am completely active, that there's not a single moment that I feel lazy about. So writing, speaking, every single day I speak to somebody, a new place. On an average, I've traveled 22 countries. I have done, currently I'm working on more than 325 projects. 325 different projects.
That's huge.
At the same time, I'm very flexible. So if something new comes in, you can't say, I have planned. Let me give an example of yesterday, okay? So I was supposed to be at the Crossword Book Award function, so my books got nominated and all those things. So I go over there, I'm exactly on time. And at 5:30, the whole thing starts. And I say, by 8:30, I should be free. I'll come home and spend some time with my family. Maybe do some book reading with my children. That's one of my routines. Suddenly at 8:30, they told me, you have to come for dinner. I said, okay, but that was not in the plan. But I can't tell no, because they're all friends. And they're important because they are organized for a dinner. So, okay, then 8:30 to almost like 10:30, 11 o'clock, I was with them, with all the industry stalwarts on the author industry. I come home at 12 o'clock. Still, from 12 to 1 o'clock, I read books with my children because today is a holiday.
Superb.
So, what is very important is that my daily routine is go with a plan, but also go with the flow. Don't become rigid. Because if somebody wants, like today we planned out, I'm saying that if you want half an hour, if it's become 1 hour, it's fine. I can't say no, cut. So, I think you have to be like water.
Flowing.
Water for me is also flowing, and water is also, it takes the shape of the container. So what do you want from me, I'll give you. So I'm speaking to a kid. I cannot be saying that I'm going to teach you business. So okay, let's talk about Avengers. So it's very important to understand what the person wants. And if you develop that mindset, you can do 10,000 things simultaneously. So many people ask me, how do you manage? I run a couple of businesses myself. University courses, at the same time I get thousands of businesses and then individual mentoring, coaching to a lot of people. So when people ask me how is it, I'm like, samne wale ko samjho aur apne aap ko samjho. It's very important, and that's how my day is. My day is starting with spirituality, go to the world and come back to spirituality. Come what may, and never on a single day I forget my prayers, meditation, reading, writing, researching, spending time with others, and most important, spending time with my family.
Very important. So you've been inspiration to many, including me. Who's your inspiration? What inspires you? Who inspires you?
So there are many people. I get inspired by you. So because there are certain things somebody else is doing which you can inspire. Get from. So the way I look at it, there are 3 major inspirations of my life, and I would say it's CCC.
Okay.
And SSS.
Okay.
So C for Chanakya. That's what I'm known for. And my father's name is Pillai.
Okay.
So he's my first inspiration. So Chanakya, then Pillai, my father, and third is Chinmaya Mission. So because Swami Chinmayanand and all the gurus, Swami Tejamanand, so all these people keep me grounded on the spiritual path. Let me tell you, I don't look upon Chanakya only as a strategic management guru. I'm looking at him as a spiritual person also. Because the leaders he created was Raja Rishis. Then comes 3 S, SSS. So first S is my mother, Sushila.
Okay.
Second is my wife, Surekha. Okay. And third is my PhD guru. Her name is Dr. Shubhada Joshi. So SSS, CCC. 3 males and 3 females.
3 females.
I love to spend time with all of these people. So these are my first inspirations. The second inspiration are books. If you look at it, saying that in all the books, I get mad when I see a new book on a new subject. So books can inspire you. The third inspiration is actually videos. Not many people know that sometimes when you're down, you can just watch a video. I never met Steve Jobs, but the kind of a vision that he had, built a company that is growing after he's dead. So I think my inspirations are 2. One is the physical human beings whom I meet, like you and so many people. That's physical, but you can also have people you never met, read books about. And third is digital. You can get inspired digitally.
Right.
But I think what's very important is that keep your mind open to get inspired by anybody and everybody.
Right. That's a great perspective. A lot of people will be inspired today to start reading books. And if you have to pick one from your entire 15 books, which is that one book that people should read to start their journey of reading?
It's like asking a mother, you got 15 children. I would say read every book, but read one book at a time.
Yeah.
So I would say Corporate Chanakya, of course, is my
the
biggest
first one.
book.
Yeah.
But I've written children's book called Chatur Chanakya. I've written Chanakya in daily life. I've written books on Inside Chanakya's Mind, how to think strategically. But I think my most favorite book right now is Chanakyaneeti, which is the
latest book. Yeah. Please tell us more about that.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you and show you also. So it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah. So among all these books that I have, this is Chanakyaneeti. Now this is very different for me, and this actually took a longer time. It took almost 1.5 years. The first book, Corporate Chanakya, took 4.5 years.
Yeah.
Afterwards, it became easier. 3 to 6 months is like minimum done.
Right.
But this book is very different because I was very frightened when the people told me. So I'll tell you what is the difference.
Yeah.
Chanakyaneeti is an original composition of Chanakya. It has got 350 sutras or formulas how to become successful in life.
Okay.
For example, how to be a successful parent, how to be a successful businessman, how to be a successful husband or wife, how to be successful to make money. Now, this original sutras were written by Chanakya.
Okay.
And my publishers, Jayco, told me, why didn't you write a book on Chanakyaneeti? So I have not written Chanakyaneeti, Chanakya's. But this is a book which has got a commentary on those 350 sutras.
Oh.
And the best part about this book is you can open any page and start reading.
Okay.
So let me just tell you, for example, this page.
Yeah.
This is the original Chanakya Sutra.
Yeah.
Now, this is there in Sanskrit, and what we have done is to translate that into English. And this is my explanation of it.
Okay.
So I had to understand this and interpret it in a modern format. And it's so amazing that when I look at this book, it's already become India's #1 best-selling book. Across India, it's doing extremely well. So even though this is my 15th book, it's actually broken all the records.
Wow.
Thanks to the team that we have in our office, we strategized a lot, thanks to my publisher. And can you believe that today when I look at all the airports that I go and listen, this book, even though the 15th book actually overshot all the records of the previous books.
Wow.
So coming back to Chanakyaneeti, I believe this is original Chanakya's thought reinterpreted by Radhakrishnan Pillai. But the success is so amazing that people are accepting it, and I've seen people buying it and saying this book changed my life.
Oh,
that's a contribution. So just to give you one example, which is there on the back cover of one of the sutras, formula for success: an action contemplated shouldn't ever be advertised.
Okay, that's deep.
But kept a secret like a mantra and revealed in time. So if you have some idea, he's not telling you not to tell everybody. So keep it a secret. When it becomes the right time, you should tell it to everyone. So it's deep. Don't tell anything and everything to anybody and everybody. But when the right time comes, go and launch it.
Wow.
So I'm sure you're going to launch this in a nice way. But the original thought, it's like, I always give a very simple example. When a lady is pregnant, she's not sure.
Yeah.
So she will first make sure, she'll test with her mother. Maybe a very poor family friend, and then she'll tell her husband, and they don't tell. But in India, we have a ceremony when the child is fully born. It is not even born, so we call it the 7th month ceremony. So, Godh Barai, as in some cultures say, or Srimant as in some cultures. So what happens is that the child, when is born, you're not sure. So when you're having a business idea or any idea, don't just go and announce it. Because they will kill the child. They will kill the idea. Wait. Then you actually go to a mentor. So a daughter would go to a mother, maybe an elder sister, check on is it okay? Let's go to a doctor. Oh, then you go and tell your husband first. Then you tell your close friends. And they're all helping you to let that child be safe. And grow a little bit. And once the child is ready, even if it's born, you have a ceremony and say, listen, we have a young little boy or a girl coming into the family, so let's celebrate it. Same thing is what Chanakya is saying. An action contemplated, if you have an idea, shouldn't be advertised, not now. The baby is still small, but kept a secret like a mantra. Mantra is always for yourself. But the mother is, eating the right food, making sure it gets in the right guidance. And revealed in time. After the 8th month, then 99% of the cases, the child will be born successful. In the same way, my dear friends, if you have a business, don't get excited and don't try to advertise it. Be very small. In fact, I'll tell you, this is what I've seen with people who are even at 60 years old. Even before they start a business, they start talking about it. And people come and say, very nice, but can you do something? What's your product and service? I don't know. So till you don't have a product and service, don't go and market it.
Right.
So coming back, this is just one of the formulas of Chanakyaneeti, which can be applied not only in business and personal life. The last thing which I like to talk, there are many, which is my favorite, which has helped me in parenting.
Yeah.
And that's a sutra in Chanakyaneeti. It says for parenting, till 5 years, Pancha Varshani, Lalayati, love the child, he or she.
Okay.
So suppose you got the latest mobile and the child bangs it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. Still 5 years, love the child unconditionally. Next 10 years, discipline the child. Tadayati. Discipline doesn't mean only hitting the child physically. You have to help them to understand the value of the word no. Because if you say yes for everything, bacha bigad jata hai.
Right.
So it's very important to actually develop the child in a disciplined manner for the next 10 years. And after that, consider the child as your friend. So after 15 years, typically, afterwards, the child is fully grown. This is the problem that we have in our generation, that we actually consider our children always small. But Chanakya says that after a particular point, you can discuss with them as friends. You can be friendly, but understand that a child can also do reverse mentoring.
Right.
And I personally have seen this in my life. Swami Chinmayananji, my spiritual guru, used to say it so beautifully, saying that for the healthy development of a child, the love of a mother and the discipline of a father both are required. So I think we need to balance out. This is also parenting. And what a wisdom of parenting, that love your child but also discipline. Because you over love, then it can be a spoiled brat. If you terrorize, if you hit too much, the child will never be close to you. So I think these are all formulas that has worked for more than 2000 years.
Wow.
So open any page of Chanakyaneeti, I get inspired, reading my own book and my own ideas. It's so important that the ancient wisdom is reinterpreted. So that's Chanakyaneeti.
You just gave me a new idea to write this book in my own way for a different subject. So thank you so much.
Please write
that. Yeah, you learn something and then you have your commentary or interpretation on that.
Yes,
you should. It's a great idea.
Yes,
and I'm sure you've agreed on record to write the foreword for my first
100%.
book.
I love to do that.
Market of courage. Thank you. So we spoke to him about life, business, health, spiritual health, family, parenting. And this has been one of the insightful interviews for me also.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for your time, sir. And I wish to see you again.
Sure.
Keep meeting you, keep getting knowledge from you, and keep applying that into our daily life and business. Sure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you the whole team, and thank you all the viewers.
Yeah.
It's an important interview for me also, because you touched the chord. The spiritual Radhakrishnan Pillai, which I generally don't speak about till somebody triggers. So, I may be successful to some extent, but what people don't know is that deeply I am a spiritual person.
Right.
In fact, that's my first natural entity that I am.
That you
Thank you for the spiritual part of the interview.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.